everybody, my name's Helen, and today it's time for the second installment of TARDIS Tuesday. For those of you who don't know, TARDIS Tuesday is where I take my TARDIS, and the TARDIS contains the name of every book that I have ever read and remember the plot and my thoughts to, and I pick out a book from in here, do like a mini sort of review of it, and then give a recommendation based on this book that I think you will like. So without further ado, let's begin. The book that I pulled out is... Okay, so last time I did this I got my favorite book of all time, which was The Book Thief. This time I got my least favorite book of all time, Life of Pi by Jan Martel. So Life of Pi by Jan Martel is the story of a young boy named Pi, and the first half of the book is like his spiritual journey and how he became fascinated with all these different religions, and the second half of the book is when he and his family were on a ship and the ship went down and he is stuck on a lifeboat with a tiger, a hyena, a zebra. I think that was it. Now for why I didn't like this book. At first, I thought it was kind of interesting because the very first chapter opens up with like this thing about the three-toed sloth. And I was like, okay, if this is kind of the feel that the rest of the book is going to have, I might like it. But as the book went on, it just kind of dragged and dragged and dragged. When he finally was in the boat, which literally does not happen until halfway through the book, it was like this rush of relief because, oh, maybe the story will now get interesting. And it still just stayed the same. There was no moment of extreme excitement or anything like that. The whole book just kind of read flat to me. However, I did watch the movie, and I thought that the movie was brilliant. I thought that they did an amazing job with it, even though it's like entirely CGI. Doesn't matter, the movie was amazing. And it kind of makes me want to reread this because I think part of the reason why I hated this book was that I read it when I was in grade 9. And so I was 14 years old, and there is so much in that book that I don't think you can understand until you're older. Lived a bit more of your life and understand more about life. I'm thinking of giving this book a second chance, but it will be for a very long time in the future. Because when I was in grade 9 and I read this book, my friend and I hated it so much that when we saw a copy of it at a thrift store for like $2, we bought it and set it on fire in his backyard. Just so that we could be like, we never have to read you again. And again, I was 14, so please don't judge me for this. I would never burn a book now. I have much more respect for the book. If you did like Life of Pi, then a book that I will recommend for you to read is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haydon. They have kind of similar feels to them, even though the stories are very, very different. But they both deal with these more mature themes. The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime is a touching story about a boy with Asperger's and how he sees the world around him and how he thinks. The way he thinks and the way that Pi begins to think by the end of Life of Pi are very similar, almost. The boy from The Curious Incident overthinks everything and doesn't deal with the stress very well. And by the end of Life of Pi, Pi has just... he's almost become a shell of himself. So that is the book that I would recommend for you to read if you did enjoy Life of Pi. And I enjoyed The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. So that is another reason for me to go back and attempt Life of Pi again sometime in the future. Just not yet. So that's it. That is the second installment of TARDIS Tuesday. Have you read either of these books? And if so, what did you think of them? Leave your comments and things down below. I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll see you soon with a new video. Bye!